Hey, what's going on, guys? So, for those of you that don't know what I'm doing already, and if you haven't seen any of my other videos in this series of videos that I'm doing, basically what I'm doing is my top 5 lures in every category of lures that I review on YouTube. Over the last few years, I've been reviewing all kinds of different lures, but mainly hard baits and hollow body frogs is what I've been sticking to. And my 5 categories of lures are hollow body frogs, Ripbaits, which is what this one is, lipless crankbaits, shallow diving crankbaits like square bills and stuff like that, and then top water hard baits, which is like spooks and poppers and stuff like that. And like I said already, this is going to be or not shallow diving. Well, basically shallow diving rip baits. I'm gonna stay away from the deep diving rip baits and stuff like that because a lot of that stuff isn't going to be applicable to you guys. If I included deep diving rip baits in here, you guys would see Stacy's and stuff like that by Lucky Craft and squirrels and stuff like that you guys aren't going to be interested in anyway. So I isolated this to shallow diving rip baits, stuff that you're going to use a lot in ponds and stuff like where a lot of you guys are using these baits. Stuff that's like less than 10 feet and stuff like that. So, but anyway, I'm going to start with number 5 and work my way up to what my number 1 lure is. So, my number 5 is a Spro McStick. And for any of you guys that have watched my other videos, you know that I really like Spro. They really do a good job manufacturing their stuff, and they really seem to hold up. This thing has really good action. I really like the way it casts. It's a really fun bait to use. It's a Mike McClellan signature series bait. He says that he's had a hand in manufacturing this bait. I don't know if that's true or not, but because you never really can't tell how these pros, if they really do have a hand in manufacturing these baits or have a say in how things look and all that stuff. But anyway, I know that man is a rip bait fisherman by trade, and that this is something that he uses and puts his name on. And I really like fishing with this bait. And like I said, Spro really does a good job of manufacturing their stuff, so everything holds up well for a long, long time. My buddy Matt Miller, I know he uses these, and I know that he really likes them as well. So, and like this finish here on the cellmate color, you can see all that glitter on the back of it. It's just, I really like the cellmate color. And then I think that this is like Blue Bandit or something like that. It's just like a chartreuse color, like a sexy chartreuse or something like that. Chartreuse shad, what I should say. There's the McStick, McRips. I really like using those too, but again, I'm not going to get into the deep diving ones. McRip works a little bit differently than those, but a McRip, if you guys like deep diving stuff, McRips, those are awesome. My next one is going to be the Jackall Squad Minnow 95. By the way, I think that this is the McStick 110. I have the smaller ones too, but I really like these bigger ones. Not the floating one, these are suspending. By the way, all of these lures in this happen to be suspending rip baits, jerk baits anyway. But the Squad Minnow 95, I like the 95 size, not the smaller one, not the 2 bigger ones, but the 95 size. It's just a really good lure. It's got a cupped lip on it. It really has nice action in the water. Everything that you get from Jackall is super, super high quality. These colors, like this is kind of like a ghost minnow color, and this is like an Aurora Black. I think this is HL Aurora Black, and I don't know what they call it. It's like spooky shad or something like that. I don't know. No, that's a Spro color. I can't remember what color this is. Somebody will tell me out there, but these are really, really good baits here, you guys. They hold up well. Japanese lures here, great hooks. Caught lots of fish on them. These are great lures, guys. These are the Squad Minnow 95. And if you want a deep diving lure from Jackall, they're Squirrel. I think it's the Squirrel 90 or Squirrel 85 or something like that. 79 maybe, Squirrel 79. I don't know. That lure is a great deep diving lure as well. If you guys like a deeper diving lure, the Squirrel is a great one. But again, I'm not including deep diving on this one. The next one, which is becoming harder to come by, which is why I buy these whenever I get the opportunity to buy them, and I've caught ironically enough, some really big fish on this lure. This is the XCalibur XT3 jerkbait. I believe that this lure is discontinued, and I don't think that, meaning that I don't think they make it anymore. I think this is like a table rock shad. It's just a chartreuse purple back, and then I forget this color, but it's basically a ghost minnow color. But these two colors are awesome. When I have cloudy days in the middle of the winter and I have a little bit of wind blowing, that's the bait that I use. This bait is really small versus the 95 size. You get the idea of about how small it is. This is probably like an 80 size. Yeah, I would say maybe, yeah, like an 80 size. So this is a really small bait. It's about 3/8 of an ounce. It might be even less than that, probably closer to 1/4 of an ounce, but it's listed at 3/8 of an ounce. Like I said, you can't find them anymore. It is basically the same bait as the Lucky Craft Pointer 79, I think is the number. It's the one below the 100. So I don't even use the 79s because I have so many of these. And they work so well, and I've had so much good luck on them. And these XCaliburs were like $8 when I was finding them. Sometimes I can find them for like $3 now. These are great baits, you guys. I love these things. And they didn't ever have, I don't believe XCalibur ever had a deep diving version of that bait, but that's a money bait for me in the wintertime. The next one, which a lot of you guys are going to be very happy to see this, I think, is the Rapala X-Rap. I've tried all kinds of different baits. I've tried the most expensive, like the mega bass lures. I have some mega bass lures. I've got the Jackalls, the pointers. I've got all kinds of different baits. I've got the exotic, like the Daiwas and stuff like that. These things are like $8, $9, and I actually think that they've gone up in price in the last few years to almost $10, which is asinine, really. I mean, that's ridiculous. But this bait really does work well. It's got such a crazy erratic action in the water. It's got that cupped lip, almost identical to the squad minnow. If I can pick one up without hooking everything, you can see the squad minnow's got that cupped lip. You can see this one's got the cupped lip, and that just makes this thing, like, as soon as you pull it to water, it just wants to swing out to the sides. And it's awesome in the water. I use this, I think this is the X-Rap 10, and then they have an X-Rap 8. I don't use the 8 too much. I use mainly this X-Rap 10 size, which is a 100 millimeter size, which is just like a Pointer 100 or basically like a Squad Minnow 95. It's basically that same size. But this is a great size for any application of black bass fishing. It's awesome. And this color right here, in this clown color, I've caught so many fish on it. As you can see, it's got all kinds of hook rash on it and stuff like that. But the cool thing about X-Raps is they hold up very well because mainly the colors are behind the plastic. So they really hold up well. This is a ghost color. Another really good color for just about all applications. If I were you guys, they have a deep diving version of this bait, and I have some of those too. Those things are junk. Stay away from those. The bills break off way too easily. I've broken them off just by ripping them through the water. It's ridiculous. But these things hold up well. You can look at this one and actually see all the rash that's on the bill from running it into rocks and stuff like that, which is not intentional, but just the way it happens sometimes. This is a really good bait, you guys, an X-Rap, and you can find these things everywhere. I think I've seen them at Target, which, I mean, Target and Kmart, I mean, they don't sell baits. I mean, that's not what they do. I mean, they have like a little tiny end cap of fishing lures, which is funny that, you know, an X-Rap, something that I would consider of all my lures of rip baits that I have, that's something that I really like. And my last but certainly not least, which shouldn't come as a surprise to any of you guys, is a Lucky Craft Pointer 100. I've got lots of these. I really love these things. They're about $16, so they're very expensive. But they hold up so well, and they've got wonderful colors. This MS American Shad color, I've caught some great fish on this color, like on bright winter days when that water is completely just still outside, and you've got a little bit of You got a little bit of dirt in the water because it just got done raining, and you throw this thing out there and you start flicking this thing all over the place. You just can't lay off of it. It's a wonderful, wonderful bait. And then this clown, or it's not clown, this is actually Nishiki. You can see some of the hook rash on the side there. This Nishiki color is another really good color here. And I've got plenty of different colors. I try to stick to some of the main colors that I don't steer away too much. I don't deviate too much from what I like, but these two colors are great colors. And if you haven't tried a Pointer 100, guys, I definitely suggest it. Lucky Craft to me makes some of the best, I would say some of the best, I'm going to underline some of the best rip baits that you can buy out there. There are more expensive rip baits out there. There are less expensive rip baits. There's some baits out there that have better colors and better custom paint jobs and stuff like that, but you can't go wrong with a Lucky Craft rip bait. They have the Pointer DDs, the Pointer XDs. They got the Stacy 90s. Like I said, if you want a deep dive and want a Stacy 90, that's my go-to for like the really deep lakes like Shasta and Whiskeytown and stuff like that. You go fish out at some of these other big lakes like that, just take a Stacy 90 with you at the right time of year and you'll catch them. So these are great baits, you guys. So Pointer 100, definitely try them out if you guys haven't had a chance to. I love how robust those baits are. They're great. So that's it, you guys. That's my top 5 lures in the rip bait category. Mainly shallow. Like I said, I gave you guys some suggestions for deep diving if you want a deeper diving version of it. Rip bait fishermen are snobbish people by nature, and I don't hold that to a fault, but it's no fault to their own. I mean, they're just very snobbish people. Rip bait fishermen are akin to fly fishermen, where they're just it's very artistic finesse fishing, and down to the colors and the hooks and the weights and everything that they put on there. It's all got to be perfect. I'm not that into rip bait fishing, but I am into ripping, and I really like these lures a lot. Like I said, there's going to be people out there that disagree with what I have to say about them versus some of the other ones that I own, and that's fine. I don't hold it against anybody. Everybody's got their opinion. This is mine. Top 5 right here for me. This is what I like to use. If you guys like the video, please hit the like button down here in the low left corner. I really appreciate that. If you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below or hit me up on Facebook. I'm usually trying to post stuff up on there about what's going on in my life and what my plans are for the YouTube channel and stuff like that. So hit me up on there, and I'll add you guys as friends on there so you guys can see what's going on. All right, guys, and if you haven't checked out the other videos, check them out, please. I really appreciate that, and thanks for all the support. Talk to you guys soon.